South Africa's constitutional democracy. Some say it is at risk of coming under attack and could fail due to inequality. This is the warning in particular from President Cyril Ramaphosa, who addressed a constitutional conference underway in Midrand. The conference is hearing from representatives of the state, judiciary, parliament and civil society, as well as the drafters of the document. They've all recognized that the state of the country represents a threat to the document being accepted. Govan Whittles is in Midrand at the conference, and he joins us to tell us about some of the debates that are being had there. Govan, at some point, someone pointed that we can expect that people who are not treated fairly will rise up against the system.
That was just some of the debates that happened during the course of the discussions, particularly on the first panel discussion. But there have been some pointed comments coming from President Cyril Ramaphosa, specifically around South Africa's constitutional project. These comments coming from someone who was at the forefront of drafting the Constitution, and the President saying quite clearly that the runaway inequality in the country represents a risk to South Africa's constitutional project, and that it could fail if it persists. The President also highlighting the need for the implementation of the Constitution to be transformational, to rather achieve the ideals and aspirations of the Constitution through its full implementation, but highlighting that this can only be done through political will, through cooperation from the citizens, but more importantly, through good governance from all spheres of government. That was, or all spheres of the state. Of course, he's talking about all spheres of government as well, which includes the local government, but also the judiciary and parliament. But recognizing that the institutions set up through the Constitution do allow for that to happen, and it is a matter of implementation. That is always what we expected would dominate this conference, which is essentially reflecting on 25 years of the South African Constitution. Let's take a look at what the President had to say about the Constitution and what could be achieved through its proper implementation.
The Constitution correctly recognizes that to advance this transformational promise, all spheres of government and all organs of state are required to provide effective, transparent, accountable, as well as coherent governments.
President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking during the opening address to the Constitution Conference here in Midrand, held to reflect on the implementation of the conference. Another notable speaker here is the former public protector, Advocate Thuli Madonsela, former head of the Chapter 9 institution, Chapter 9, which is so heralded in the international community for the ability it gives the public protector to hold power to account. Advocate Madonsela displayed exactly how that could be done through her infamous state of capture report, but she also spoke about the implementation of the Constitution versus the South African Constitution being viewed as one of the best in the world. Of course, it's a matter of how it's viewed versus how it's being implemented, and the point she makes is around whose responsibility it is to eventually implement the ideals in the Constitution and who should be held accountable. Let's take a look.
It is true that we have one of the best constitutions in the world. But as was said by the first video that has been done by Constitution Hill, constitutions are not self-executing documents.
Govan Whittles, thank you very much for that update.